Most gardeners spend hundreds of dollars trying to keep their soil moist while throwing away something that can hold an incredible amount of water underground. The surprising part is that it isn't peat moss, cocoa coir, or hydrogel crystals. It's old natural cotton. Used the right way, it can become a temporary underground sponge that helps young plants survive dry periods. Used the wrong way, though, it can create root problems instead of solving them. One tool that helped me figure this out was a soil moisture meter. After burying cotton beneath several raised beds, I realized the surface often looked dry while the root zone was still perfectly moist. Without measuring, I would have watered again and probably stressed the plants. I use a 4-in-1 soil moisture meter that also measures soil temperature and light, and I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. It removes the guesswork, especially when you're experimenting with moisture-retaining materials like this. And later, I'll explain why depth matters more than the cotton itself. Here's why cotton behaves differently once its underground. Natural cotton fibers can absorb many times their own weight in water. That doesn't mean they magically create water. They simply store rainfall or irrigation and release it gradually as surrounding soil dries. The important word here is natural. I'm talking about 100% cotton t-shirts, towels, sheets, or fabric scraps, not polyester blends, waterproof fabrics, or chemically treated textiles. In one backyard tomato bed, I buried shredded cotton about 6 inches below the planting row beneath a mixture of compost and native soil. During a week of hot weather, moisture readings stayed consistently higher than an identical bed without cotton. The difference wasn't dramatic enough to stop watering altogether, but it noticeably reduced how quickly the soil dried between irrigations. Most people bury cotton the wrong way. This is where many gardeners make the mistake. They bury large folded pieces of fabric. That creates dense layers that can slow root penetration and sometimes leave air pockets underground. Instead, cut or shred the cotton into fist-sized or smaller pieces and mix them loosely with coarse compost before burying them. Think of it as creating tiny moisture reservoirs rather than a buried blanket. For raised beds, I typically incorporate 1 part shredded cotton with about 4 parts finished compost beneath the top 6 to 8 inches of growing soil. Containers require much less, just a thin layer near the bottom third of the pot works well for larger vegetables. The reason becomes obvious once roots begin growing. They move through the compost while accessing stored moisture without becoming trapped inside a dense fabric layer. The biology changes as the cotton breaks down. Cotton doesn't stay cotton forever. It's almost pure cellulose, so fungi and soil microbes gradually consume it. Earthworms often pull fibers deeper into the soil, increasing microbial activity around the decomposition zone. That decomposition is exactly why this isn't a permanent moisture solution. Depending on soil conditions, natural cotton may decompose over 1 to 3 growing seasons. During that time, it contributes organic matter while slowly disappearing. This is also why I never recommend synthetic fabrics. Polyester doesn't decompose the same way and simply becomes buried plastic. If you're enjoying practical experiments like this, consider subscribing because some of the best soil improvements come from understanding biology instead of buying expensive garden products. There are situations where I wouldn't use cotton at all. Heavy clay soils that already stay wet for long periods usually don't benefit much. Extra moisture retention can actually reduce oxygen around roots. Likewise, avoid placing cotton directly beneath carrots, onions, or other crops that prefer consistently well-drained conditions. Where cotton shines is in sandy soils, raised beds that dry rapidly, large containers, and vegetable gardens exposed to intense summer heat. I've even tested small amounts in hydroponic seed starting experiments where cotton helps stabilize moisture around young seedlings before transplanting, although it should never replace proper hydroponic growing media. Moisture is only valuable if roots can actually use it. One lesson took me years to learn. Plants don't need constantly wet soil. They need consistently available moisture combined with oxygen. That's why cotton works best alongside coarse compost, leaf mold, wood chips on the surface, and healthy soil structure. Those materials improve air movement while cotton temporarily stores water below. When I monitored these beds over an entire season, moisture levels remained more stable instead of swinging from soaking wet to bone dry every few days. That consistency produced healthier root systems and noticeably reduced drought stress during hot afternoons. Here's what actually makes this technique successful. Old cotton isn't a miracle amendment, and it certainly doesn't create infinite moisture. What it does is improve your soil's ability to hold on to the water you already provide while gradually becoming organic matter itself. That's a much better goal than constantly chasing new watering products or expensive moisture retention additives. Healthy gardens are built by stacking small biological advantages together: better soil structure, active microbes, smart mulching, proper watering, and materials that work with nature instead of against it. If this video helped you think differently about what's happening beneath your plants, subscribe to Husbandry and share it with another gardener. The healthiest soil isn't built overnight. It's built by understanding how every layer beneath your feet works together.